Hello and welcome back to another episode of The Brand Couch. This was supposed to be the second episode after Lauren kicked it off from Air Things and she gave the baton to Marie over here. But a bit of COVID restrictions came in between, so we've been trying to plan this for a couple of weeks. Here you are, finally.
Here I am.
Monner-Marie. Really looking forward to this, but who are you? Tell our viewers where you are coming from, what you do and who you are.
Yeah, so my name is Marie, also known as Monner-Marie. I am CMO at Monner from Sparebank1 SR-Bank, and we are a bank for startups.
Bank for startups.
Norwegian startups, yep.
There you go. But there's been a bit of a journey now, right? Because you guys you've been bought and you pivoted and there's lots of things that happened. Can you just give us a bit of an insight of what went on in the last couple of months?
Yeah. So, I mean, we've had a lot of changes, but we started up 4 years ago as a separate company. Our goal was always to help Norwegian startups to grow faster. So we started off with launching a crowd lending platform for SMEs. We did a bit of pivoting a couple of years ago when Sparebank1 SR-Bank purchased us, where we started seeing trends in our customers, where our customers were interested in something different from what we originally thought they would want. In addition to that, we wanted to launch products, banking and non-banking related products for startups. And it was quite obvious to us that our customers, that we had two very different customer groups for these products. So we had to start splitting the brand, which we started doing last year.
There you go. So target audiences, you, just to dial it back about 20 seconds, you had a target audience when you started, which is startups and local investment or people interested in local investments. And then you noticed that things weren't going as planned. So what didn't go as planned and how did you pivot your company to serve that sort of insight?
Yeah, so we saw that our customers were interested in certain types of projects on our platform that we initially didn't want to, or we weren't initially focusing on those types of projects. So we saw an opportunity to pivot the brand into two brands. Okay. And this it's sort of complex because we were purchased by Sparebank1 SR-Bank.
All of it?
All of it,
okay.
The full company. And they wanted us to be a sort of startup brand for them. And we had this crowd lending platform, which was really, in a scale-up phase. As a brand, our crowd lending product couldn't really live with the startup bank products we wanted to launch. So what we did is we had to start splitting the brand into two. Fast forward 10 months, we are now a separate team inside the bank, and the crowd lending platform is still a separate company.
100 questions. I'm going to try to boil down to two. So one thing is the brand split, right? Where you suddenly become two brands that are, on one side, a bit more traditional banking, if you will, and the other side, this cool new startup-y crowd lending platform.
Yeah.
I'm going to call it the green brand, right?
Yeah, let's do that.
Green pants.
Green.
That's the startup one, isn't
Yes.
it? Yes. So how does that live together with the more traditional banking thing? Because it's somewhere different from what you set out to do.
We always wanted to help startups grow faster. So this is very natural for us. I feel like our brand strategy hasn't changed at all, actually. We just now get to help them with different products than we initially were planning on helping them with. So we are the bank that Norwegian startups should come to for simple banking products, also accounting coming up, and eventually also interesting growth products for startups that can sort of hook onto banking and accounting.
Another two questions, obviously, but one thing is culture-wise, which we're just going to park that for 2 seconds, but because obviously this is a sort of session where we're supposed to talk about what do you do, how to grow those brands, but now you're supposed to grow two brands, and you're also inside another organization. So it seems challenging. So how do you do that? I mean, there's this financial product brand, which is supposed to have different verticals for startups. And then you have the crowd lending platform, which is more sort of cool, easygoing, different. How do you do it? I mean, the actual execution of marketing and positioning those two brands. I mean, give us some insights on that.
I'm currently only working on the startup bank brand.
Okay.
So I'm no longer working with the crowd lending platform.
So you parked that sort of?
Well, because that's a separate company, and I no longer work there.
All right.
So because as of 1st of May, we when we became a separate team within inside the bank, the team that I work with, we stopped working with the crowd lending platform.
Okay.
But what's really fun and interesting is how we had to do this split and start doing it 10 months ago. When you have customers that know you and connect your brand to a certain product, how do you inform new customers of who you are without talking about the other product? What do you do with social media profiles? What do you do with your followers? What do you do with newsletter followers, etc.? Also build your tech stack. How do you build your product and the whole user experience? It's very complex, but it's something that we've, as a team, been working very heavily on, and it's been super exciting.
Any best practices? Any sort of, ooh, this worked really well and that didn't work?
The most difficult decision to make was who gets to own the social media profiles, for example, because we had built up a huge following on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram, etc. And we had, thousands of subscribers to our newsletter.
And everyone wants subscribers.
Everyone wants subscribers, right? Yeah. But I also knew that we couldn't bring any of those followers with us to this new brand, this startup bank brand, because they had signed up to, marketing from a crowd lending product, right? So they weren't really interested in
banks.
In banks, no, because most of these people were investor customers, right? So, and we were looking to expand and speak out to startup founders, right? So that was quite interesting. I mean, and painful, because we had to start all of our new social media profiles and start working on a completely new following.
If you were to sum it up, I mean, because obviously these are things you've been working on this for a year almost, but like you experienced some classic startup issues, right? Or not issues, but sort of happenings. You established yourself, you had to pivot, then you got bought, then you had to split, and then you rebuilt, right? All together with sort of the same team and trying to get the best out of people and your team and everyone around you. If you were to sum it up in a few sentences, because obviously, we can talk about this for many days, but, so what are your key learnings from that year?
We moved slowly, I feel, which was good, and we work very lean, but we do a lot of growth hacking without really calling it growth hacking. We do a lot of testing all the time. We try out new things work, some things just really don't work. We just learned from that, but we sort of quickly jumped into things and ideas that we had to see if people liked it, or if they didn't. We're all about trying to launch things that aren't really finished yet. We are, completely in need of our customers' feedback, right?
It's a bit of the Tesla model. Just throw it out there and figure out if it works, and then repeat it.
Kind of,
cool.
yeah.
Okay, so usually I would say now, but Ian, so thank you so much, because this is a cool topic and there's so many more things to talk about, but we have to stop at some point. But I normally say now, okay, check them out at something dot whatever. But what is it now? Where can people look at what you do? I
started in one company, and now I'm in this bank with the rest of the team that I work with. So I'd say if anyone wants to learn more about Monner, they have to go to our to monner.no.
Okay.
For the startup bank brand. On Instagram, we're also monner.no. Same on LinkedIn and Facebook, etc. Yeah.
That's it. All right.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
More to come from this brand and more to come from the Brand Couch. Check them out at monner.no, and thank you very much for today.